is operating its business in about 40 countries in the world, and the beauty of India is that it is a fast-growing country in which the level of competition is probably lower than in many other countries, and very concentrated in some key cities, which are multi-million inhabitants city. And we see a new generation which is very powerful, which is entrepreneurial, which is successful, and which is naturally envying the fact to come to buy some luxury products. Well, as I was saying you, all markets are complicated because they are all different, and you cannot duplicate a strategy you have in one country and make it one-to-one to another one. So our strategy in India is very easy, because we want to be recognized first of all in the two big cities, which are Mumbai and which are Delhi. So that's why we are here in this beautiful boutique here in Delhi, as we are also in two other locations in Mumbai. So we know that there are some other growing cities in India which are growing very fast. It's a market we are looking at much more than many others, because in many other markets, the big cities of tomorrow are already the big cities of today, whereas in India, the big cities of tomorrow can suddenly become big centers for some industries. And we have very strong partners in that country, which are people who know the market extremely well. And that's the beauty of being associated from the very beginning with companies and people who know the market, who have a vision about what the market will become in the future. And Panerai is very proud to be one of the pioneers in that operation. Well, the Panerai customer is probably someone who is very much entrepreneurial, who has statement in his personal life, success in his personal life, in his social life, professional, personal lives. Someone who has achieved already something and who wants to, is a hedonism in life. You know, the fact we're an Italian brand demonstrates that we have the chance to be part of these brands, which are the ambassadors of what Italy stands at its best. Best in terms of accessories, in terms of ready-to-wear, in terms of jewelry, and so on and so on. So Panerai is very proud to be part of these key brands which are demonstrating what is Italian creativity can be, and the Milanese creativity, especially also the Firenze historical background. But first, we don't intend to change them, because the Paneristis is like is part of the is a community of 30,000 people in the world, for which Panerai initially had no initiative. It became a group of passionate people by taking initiatives in many countries. There are Paneristis in India, there are Paneristis in Switzerland, like there are Paneristis in the US, Paneristis in Japan. These people have gathered together to share their emotions, their passion about one brand, which happens to be Panerai. We are of course in contact with many of them, but we are here to support them. We are here to make sure that the desirability that they have with our brand, we are continuing to give them stories and telling them what we are doing, and give them some lights before the others about what is the brand vision strategy for the next few years. So we have a very close relationship with some of them, and hopefully I would love to have with the 30,000 of them. But there is no rule. You can be a Paneristi without buying any Panerai watch. Yeah. As well that you can be a collector of 300 watches of Panerai without being a Panerist. You know, this is a religion, so do you really believe or you don't? And this is something I would love to contribute as much as I can by being the CEO of this brand, but at the end they are the ones who decide if they still want to have Panerai close to their heart. Well, the big highlight for Panerai this year has been to have the 740 people part of our company to actively work to make the submersible one of the 4 pillars of Panerai as a dedicated line. And we all together have defined that the submersible is a a great opportunity in our brand to make it a separated line, because it encapsulates all what is Panerai standing for as a brand. Masculine, bold products, which have a certain number of innovations like the BMG material, like the bronzo material, like the Carbotech materials. And we have a plan for many years to enrich the assortment with more innovations and to enrich the claim, which is Panerai Laboratorio di Idee, which is describing very much what is Panerai standing for. But I'm not sure that these changes are changing our perception. We just changed the date of our fair from January to April. It will not change our life dramatically. It will be much easier for you as Indians who have to travel twice to Europe to only come once, which is very good for the environment. But anyway, we are very interested to have in SIHH, it's for us a podium. It's a podium where for 5 days we can demonstrate the creativity of the brand for the next 365 days. So we are at that occasion welcoming a lot of journalists, influencers, trade partners, final customers. In Panerai, we have seen this year a growing number of people coming to visit us as final customers to see in avant-première the innovations which will be supplied in the next few weeks or months. So hopefully that the two fairs altogether will help us to have more people. But I think it's a good sign for the industry to be together. We are working on about 15 different new materials. I have not said we will launch them. I just say we work on 15 different materials. And we calculate about 95% rate of failure when you work on research and development. Okay? So, but the 5% which are successes can be the success of the future for your brand. So we work on several materials which we will launch in the next 2 to 3 years, but one will be announced next year as a new generation of material again, and which is a material which is very much associated to the world of the sea. Well, it's a very exciting partnership, because MS Dhoni was already a friend of the brand before that we enter into a more closer relationship now. And it's fascinating because I've asked a couple of my good Indian friends about MS Dhoni, and nobody has told me bad things about him. The capacity that this gentleman is having to create positive impression is unbelievable. So I have not seen in my life, and that's why I'm very impressed to see him for the first time tomorrow. I've seen 100 of pictures of him or 100 of movies of him, but seeing him for the very first time, how someone can be so much developing a positive environment around him. And I think you have the chance in India to get with MS Dhoni, one of the most emblematic person to represent your country. And Panerai is very proud to be closely associated to him. Because he has values that we are sharing, and we often are saying that, but the honesty is something we like very much in Panerai. We don't want to over-pretend, and I think that the beauty of MS Dhoni is that it's someone who doesn't have to prove anymore anything.